Hi everyone, I'm glad you're back. This is video number 3 of ConquerNaNoWriMo series. And good evening, good day, good morning, depending on where you are. My name is Frau Möbius. I'm a German therapist and coach. I run the website Writer's Dream Coach. I also have a Facebook page of the same name. And this is my big secret. I write stories under the pen name of Hannah Steenbock, and you might have seen her around on Facebook. That's my writing twin. Now today's topic is NaNoWriMo. This is so hard. And the thing is, you've been writing for 2 weeks now. You should be at 25,000 words or more because we're halfway through November already. And if you're in any way like me, you're getting tired of the whole thing. You've been pushing yourself hard to write for 2 weeks, and you may be on target, but you're probably behind. I keep looking at my writing buddies on the NaNoWriMo website, and out of all the writing buddies that I have, about a dozen, well, probably more, maybe 20 are actually writing, and I'm on target, except I need to write 2,000 words tonight as well. And I'm in 3rd place of all the people that I buddied up with on NaNoWriMo. So I suppose the most normal situation is that you are behind despite working hard to keep the words going, to push out the story, to get that word count down. I know I've been missing sleep because of it. I've been pushing myself hard. I ran into resistance. I overcame it. This is Nano. I mean, seriously, this is the challenge of Nano. This is what we signed up to do. And there are actually good reasons for you to feel exhausted and to feel tired. And I'll go through them. And of course, there will be a tapping round at the end that I hope will energize you a little for today's writing session and possibly for more. But first of all, you've been really hard at work writing your story. And it doesn't really matter if you have plotted it out, if you have the nice little list of chapters that you want to check off, or if you're a pantser like me who just dives into the story, follows the headlines, headlights. I just read this nice quote that starting a story is like driving in the night with the headlines on and lights. Sorry. And you can only see far enough to drive. See what your headlights illuminate. This is like you can see the next scene. You may be able to see the next chapter. It depends on how bright your lights are. But this is what writing a story is like for a pantser. We have, you drive this road and okay, eventually I will hit this town and then I'll have to take the highway and then I'll have to take that exit. These points, and you don't need your headlights to show them to you because that's the route you're driving. But in between, everything in between, the entire road, you can only see the part that you're at in the moment. And this is exhausting because it takes a lot of focus and a lot of concentration to keep moving a story. And for most of you, Nano means moving a story at a faster speed than you're used to. Definitely for me, I do my word count in November is higher than any other time of the year, except when I get a writing high and then I can write like mad. But Nano is a time where I have to push myself, and I know it is work. I know you have to go back to your desk, to your laptop, and write. It's hard work. And after 2 weeks of it, of writing more than you usually do, of pushing the story, of forcing your brain to come up with ideas, with people, with descriptions, with dialogue, your brain is tired. And like I said, you probably didn't get enough sleep. I certainly lost a couple of hours of sleep over these 2 weeks already. And your brain is tired. You're not used to this. Your writing muscles are sore. And this is a completely normal thing for Nano. And the only thing that you can do is to keep pushing. And of course, you can try to make it fun again. I'll get to that at the end. The other thing that might happen, and I'm feeling it myself as well, even though I do spend most of my time sitting right here at my desk, sitting here and writing and focusing on the story and losing myself in it for half an hour at a time, it means I'm not moving enough. Now, I have one of these chairs where it's more like a stool. You sit on this flat area of the seat, and you rest your knees on pads, and there's no nothing to lean against. So basically, I'm forcing myself to, keep up posture, sit actively, and even that doesn't really help. My body gets tired, and I'm pretty sure your body gets tired because you're sitting still more than you might be used to. You might be sitting in positions that you aren't used to as much, especially if, I've seen pictures of people writing curled up on their bed. I could never do that. I would be so stiff. I wouldn't be able to get up. But your body probably feels the stress. And your muscles are probably tighter than you're used to. And so the other thing you can do is to actively move. Be aware of your position. Be aware of your body. Go out for a walk. Move. And if you're using a laptop, try sitting in different places for your different writing times. I always suggest using a timer. Like I have this one. Can you see that? Yeah. It has a magnetic thing where I stick it to one of my file cabinets. Use a timer. Set it to 30 minutes. Then get up, do something else, and find a different position for the next 30 minutes. And I need to use 3 of those 30-minute sessions, and usually then I'm done. And if you shift position from session to session, you will do your body a huge favor. And if your body relaxes and stops sending these pain signals and signals that you should be moving, your creativity will be easier. It'll flow better if you don't get distracted by your body complaining. Now, the other thing is you've been writing for 2 weeks now, and you have started a story. You've basically written half a novel, and it's not unusual to start doubting the whole thing and saying this is so crap, and that you think it's really horrible and there is no point in continuing. And of course that makes it even harder to find the motivation of pushing through, of going for your word count, of diving back into that story, keep going, and get unstuck again, which I was talking about last week. This all takes extra effort, and if you doubt yourself on top of all the exhaustion that you've already accumulated by writing hard for 2 weeks, you make it extra difficult. So I would like to invite you to let go of that doubt, to just focus on your story. I know it's not easy, but focus on your story. Try to find the fun in it again, reconnect with your characters, reconnect with your favorite scenes that you already have in mind. I'm a pantser, but I have these themes I'm looking forward to. So remember those. Give yourself permission to look forward to them. Enjoy this sense of, yeah, it's going to be such a good scene. It's going to be so cool to write. Dig into that joy and use that to help you motivate to write more. And the other thing, and I can't point this out often enough, we're readers. Most of us writers are readers, and we enjoy those stories and we read them, and then we compare them to our story. And we're thinking, oh, these stories are so good and mine is so terrible, and my writing sucks, and I can't even find good descriptions, and my dialogue is stilted, and yeah, that might be true, but you don't get to read those authors' first drafts, do you? So what you read on your Kindle or with all those books behind me, you might recognize that green trilogy in the corner. What you get is the polished end result of a chain of writing, editing, feedback, possibly a proofreader. That's what you hold in your hands when you read a book. You have a finished, polished product that has been validated, and even indie authors use editors and use proofreaders, and they should. But most of them do their best to polish their manuscripts before they publish it. And what you're doing during Nano is you're writing an insane draft. You're writing your shitty first draft. And that means it cannot be as good as any of those books behind me on the shelf. There's no way it can be that way. It won't stay the way it is right now either, because after Nano you have editing. After Nano you make it better. So stop comparing this and stop giving yourself doubt by comparing your developing Nano story with anything finished that you've read before or are reading now or will read in the future. It's like, pears and apples. It's not the same thing. Simple as that. So stop this comparison, focus on the story, and take good care of yourself. And I can't emphasize that enough. Taking good care of yourself. It takes me 90 very focused minutes to write my Nano quota. It might take you a lot more because I'm a touch typist. I type really fast. Once the thoughts get flowing, I type really fast. I can get 300 to 500 words in 10 minutes if I get really good, really good. It might take you longer. Give yourself permission to handle that time well. Make it fun, make it pleasurable. Write as best as you can. I know it's hard to fit that writing time into your life, but as best as you can, make it fun. Make it fun. Enjoy this awesome experience of telling your own story. And I know lots of you have experience with it. Some of you are new. Some of you are shocked by what's going on. And yes, it is hard. It is possibly something you've never done before. And even if you're a Nano veteran, you're usually only doing this once a year. You're out of habit. You're out of practice. Writing 1,667 or more words per day is an unusual effort for your brain, for your body, for your imagination, for your determination. It takes a lot of willpower to do this day after day. And give yourself credit for that. It is exhausting. Part of Nano is to get through this exhaustion. And there's one more thing that I forgot to write on my cheat sheet, but I just remembered. You're halfway done with your novel, which means you're smack dab in the dreaded middle. You wrote the interesting beginning. You're looking forward to the exciting showdown and end of the story, but right now you're stuck in the middle. And you have several plot lines that have started to meander and wiggle around and possibly develop in ways that you didn't foresee. Even if you're a plotter, it can happen. And all this makes it difficult to keep the focus, to keep the story together, to wrangle the characters, to rein in the action. And of course the middle is also always dreadful because you are working to get the tension up and up and up. But that means you have to invent a lot of little things that are happening, a lot of little things that accumulate and work towards the big cataclysm, the big showdown, the big revolution and fight or whatever. I mean, it kind of depends on your genre, but basically the thing that happens just before the end is the bang. And you're working towards that, but you have to come up with all these little interactions and hints and bits of information that you combine into making the story move, accelerate. And that is a bit like, you know, when you start pushing a car. I don't know if you've ever pushed a car, but I've done so several times. So if you start pushing a car, the hardest part is to actually get it to move, to push into the first bit of movement, the first bit of actually getting it from a standstill into slight movement. And your story should have slight movement by now because you're halfway in it, but you need to accelerate, and that is hard work. You need to still overcome that inertia. You need to keep moving things. So again, it's not unusual that right now things feel hard. They feel tedious. It feels like a chore to get back to your story and push it through another chapter and keep going. It'll get easier, and do whatever you can to get back into the fun. Because you started to write the story because it was fun, because it was an awesome idea, because you have interesting characters, you have possibly an amazing setting, you may have even an awesome villain. I mean, villains are people too, and if you have an awesome villain, you have quite a challenge when you're hero or heroine. And reconnect with that excitement and bring it back into the story. And it's okay if the story surprises you a couple of times. Yes, plotters, you are allowed to deviate from your plot. Panthers, you are allowed to look forward to certain scenes, and you are allowed to put down these waymarks and hit them. Do what it takes to make this fun again. It's the only way to get through Nano. And take the time to have a conversation with one of your characters and, you know, see how they work. Ask them what they want. Reconnect with the story, and it'll get easier. And this is what I'm going to do the tapping around about. So pull up my sleeves because I'm getting ready to tap with you. I won't explain the tapping. I have materials, free downloads, and a free tapping video on my website, which is writersdreamcoach.com. And that's a day that I also have a weekly blog. And you're always welcome to ask me questions either on my Facebook page, which is Writer's Dream Coach. Imagine that. I also have a Facebook group where I work with authors and where we focus on mindset. So it's not a group where I teach you how to write. That's kind of your job, and there's tons of stuff out there on the internet. You can take writing classes. There are thousands out there. I focus on the mindset, which kind of is essential if you want to keep writing regularly and get the book done, get the novel done, finish Nano. And that group is called the Right Mindset, and you spell it's the Right, WRITE mindset, because it's about writing. Imagine that. And be patient if you want to join, and make sure you answer the questions. That's my way of deciding if you're a good fit for the group. I value my group, I value my members, and the group is not for everyone. So there's ways where we can interact, where you can ask me questions, where I talk about tapping and writing and accountability and all that. And yeah, go ahead, read about EFT, read about mindset, read about writing. And now we're going to do some tapping. I'm just going to do this. Just do what I do. Just copy me. Copy the words. I try to speak slowly enough so you have the space to actually repeat what I'm saying. This is always hard for me because I'm talking to imaginary people. Oh, hi, there's a people. Hi. And so follow me. Side of the hand, that's where we start. By the way, it doesn't matter which side of the body you're tapping on. The meridians that you're using, meridian points as an acupuncture, they're the same on either side of the body. So just follow me. I'm not going to go, sorry. Even though this nano writing has gotten really hard, oh, so much work, I'm still totally okay the way I am. And I now choose to reconnect with the parts that are fun and make it easy to write. Keep tapping. Even though I have come to dread doing my word count every day, oh, it cuts into my sleep. It's so hard to get it done after work. Ugh, such a chore. But I do love and accept myself anyway, and I'm still a good writer, and I can choose to reconnect with the story and start having fun again. Even though I've been writing for 2 weeks and it's been hard, and I'm slogging through the story and it's no longer fun, it's a chore, and maybe I've been thinking about quitting. But I still love and accept myself. And I now choose to reconnect with the story and my characters and rediscover the joy of writing and telling the whole story. Let's start the tapping round. Nano has become a chore. And allow the emotions to come up. That's why I'm acting this out. It is such a chore. It's so hard. Getting this word count every day, oh God, so hard. I dread opening my file. Because honestly, so much has to happen in 1,667 words. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of action. And it is hard work to write all that every single day. And honestly, being behind doesn't make it even more fun. Nano has become a chore. And I'm thinking of quitting because it's no longer fun. On the other hand, I really want to get that story out. I really want to find out how it ends. I want to figure out all those details. That's for the plotters. I want to know how it goes, and I want to prove to myself that I can do this, that I can actually write a full novel. But I just don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be fun again. It was so exciting to start out on Nano. The first few days, wow. The story just flew ahead. It was so cool to discover my characters and setting. It was so much fun to set everyone up and start the whole thing. But now I'm stuck in the middle and it's boring and tedious and difficult. And maybe I need to reconnect with the fun. And I can choose to do so. I can choose to also take good care of myself and move around and, you know, all this other stuff. But I can choose to reconnect with my characters. I can choose to reconnect with the purpose of the story. And I can choose to reconnect with all the highlights of it. The big showdown. The happiness at the end. Or whatever happens in the end. It will be exciting. I choose to reconnect with that now. I choose to tap deep down into my writing self and rediscover that joy. I give myself permission now to rediscover the joy and to be in awe of my writer brain that comes up with so many ideas, so many interesting plot twists. Wow! I give myself permission to continue and to have fun writing this story. And I choose to do so now. Take a deep breath. Take a sip of water like I'm doing. And if you feel like connecting, write a comment on my blog at writersdreamcoach.com. Talk about your work in progress. Join my writing group. And most of all, tune in again next week because I'll talk about Nano again. There's always something to talk about Nano. And let me know if you have any problems. Look up either Frauke Möbius or Hannah Steenbock. She's willing to talk to you as well. Even if she's the writer. I'm the coach. And it's fun to shift the hats. And it's fun to reconnect and connect with people that way. But do reach out if you want help. I have coaching offers. If you think you need a huge mindset shift, I can do that with you. And join me again next week. And until then, happy writing. I'll see you next week.